bottle, it's Nicki full throttle, it's all. Swimming in the grotto, we winning in the lotto, we dipping in the pot of blue flow. Getting so good, it's dripping on wood, get a ride in that engine that could go. Batman robbing it, bang bang cocking it, Queen Nicki dominant, prominent. It's me, Jesse and Ari. If they test me, they sorry. Riders up like a Harley, then pull off in this Ferrari. If he hanging, we banging. Phone ringing, he slanging. It ain't karaoke night, but get the mic 'cause I'm singing. B to the A, to the N to the G, to the B to the A, to the N to the G. Hey.
See anybody come be good to you? You need a back out up on your mind, your mind.
Okay.
Bang bang into the room. I know you want it. Bang bang all over you. I'll let you have it. Wait a minute, let me take you there. Wait a minute,
Yeah,
bang bang, there goes your heart. I know you want it. Bang bang, see the look on her. I'll let you have it. Wait a minute, let me take you there. Wait a minute, bang bang into the room. I know you want it. Bang bang all over you.
Yo, I said bang bang, bang 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 bang, bang bang bang, bang bang bang.
Bang bang, there goes your heart. I know you want it. Bang bang, see the look on her. I'll let you have it. Wait a minute, let me take you there. Wait a minute till you.
Once upon a time, a few mistakes ago, I was in your sights. You got me alone. You found me. You found me. You found me. I guess you didn't care, and I guess I liked that. And when I fell hard, you took a step back without me. Without me. Without me. And he's long gone when he's next to me. And I realize the blame is on me. 'Cause I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. No apologies, he'll never see you cry. Pretends he doesn't know that he's the reason why you're drowning, you're drowning, you're drowning. Now I heard you moved on from whispers on the street. A new notch in your belt is all I'll ever be. And now I see, now I see, now I see. He was long gone when he met me. And I realized the joke is on me. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. And the saddest fear comes creeping in, that you never loved me or her or anyone or anything. Yeah. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground.
Loving can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home. Loving can heal. Loving can mend your soul, and it's the only thing that I know. I swear it will get easier. Remember that with every piece of you. And it's the only thing we take with us when we die. Keep this love in its photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, hearts were never broken, time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet. You won't ever be alone. And if you hurt me, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. Wait for me to come home. 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 Oh, you can fit me inside the necklace you got when you were 16, next to your heartbeat where I should be. Keep it deep within your soul. And if you hurt me, well, that's okay, baby. Only words bleed inside these pages. You just hold me. I won't ever let you go. When I'm away, I will remember how you kissed me under the lamppost back on 6th Street, hearing you whisper through the phone. Wait for me to come home.
I had a dream so big and loud, I jumped so high, I touched the clouds. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I stretched my hands out to the sky, we danced with monsters through the night. Whoa, oh,
without your smart mouth, drawing me in and you kicking me out. You got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I'm so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh, how many times do I have to tell you? Even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down. I'm around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh, give me all of you. Cards on the table, we're both showing hearts, risking it although it's hard, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. Oh. I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't be control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling, yeah. So keep dancing. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't stop the. 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 Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. Everybody say.
On myself, pick out dust them off, put them back up on the shelf. Kiss my little baby girl is in need. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Got another mouth to feed. Leave it with the babies till the mama call the grave digger. Gone with the falling leaves. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might have had your fill, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986
kicks now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks now. Let me kick it like it's 1986 now. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Might have had your fill, but I feel it still.
Crashing, hit a wall. Right now, I need a miracle. Hurry up now, I need a miracle. Stranded, reaching out. I call your name, but you're not around. I say your name, but you're not around. I need ya, I need ya, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down. 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 Running out of time. I really thought you were on my side, but now there's nobody by my side. I need ya, I need ya, I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down. 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 Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now, yeah. I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down. Don't let me down. Yeah, don't let me down. Yeah, don't let me down. Don't let me down. So don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. I'm breaking in, shaping up, then checking out on the prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa.
What's up?
We hope you're enjoying Duke so far.
We're the cast of True Blue, and we'd like to share a few things about ourselves.
We all come from different places.
I'm from Texas.
I just got back from London.
We've had different life experiences.
I studied French in France this summer.
I wrote and produced a short film.
We all have different majors.
I'm pre-med.
I was pre-med.
I'm poli-sci.
I was poli-sci.
Some of us came here to study something completely different.
Some of us love body piercings and tattoos. Want to see mine?
Some of us have seen every episode of Rick and Morty.
Stranger Things, Insecure.
Oh my god, I love Insecure too.
I Instagram.
I Snapchat.
You Snapchat.
Not like that.
We all have different hobbies. I lift heavy stuff.
Do you even lift, bro? I game.
And I like to dance.
Some of us wear outrageous underwear.
And some of us aren't wearing any underwear.
Word? Ew.
Not ill.
Some of us have our own cars here at Duke.
Some of us can't afford a car.
Need a ride?
Sure.
Some of us are straight.
Some of us are gay.
Some of us are queer.
Some of us are asexual.
Some of us are just sexual.
And some of us are just waiting for the right person.
We all have different studying styles.
I procrastinate. I finish papers way before they're due.
Is that true?
Not at all.
We all wish we could get more sleep. I tented in Kville for a week and got the worst cold in my life.
You got a cold? Got the fool in quarantine.
Oh yeah? I went scented for 2 nights and I was fine.
Yeah, right.
Some of us drink alcohol occasionally.
Some don't drink at all.
I learned that keeping up wasn't the best idea. I woke up in the hospital.
Some of us have struggled with eating disorders. Some of us have struggled with eating disorders. Some of us have experienced violence against us in our lives.
Many of us are guided through life by a particular faith.
Some of us are more spiritual than religious.
All of us were once sitting where you are.
Yawning.
Rolling our eyes.
But then I learned stuff I didn't realize I need to know.
Isn't it amazing to be a Duke student?
But sometimes it can be really hard.
People think that studying and getting good grades is the hardest part of college, but then life happens, and it's even harder.
But there are ways to get through it. And lucky for us, we have Dean Sue and Dr. Blacks here to give us some pointers.
If you're going my way, well, I wanna drive it all night long.
Maybe it's better that we not see them.
Yeah, exactly. How y'all doing? All right.
So I apologize to all of you. You've had to listen to me several times during orientation. I promise this is the last time. I'm Sue Waslick. I'm the Dean of Students. I work in Student Affairs. Thank you.
All right. And I'm John Blackshear. I'm an academic dean in Trinity College.
And I'm the faculty in residence in Gilbert Adams.
I'm the faculty in residence in Trinity, who's not here. But I used to be the faculty in residence in Giles. Y'all here? There you go.
I live in a small apartment.
I live in a nice, large apartment.
I drive a Prius.
I drive a motorcycle.
I'm single.
I'm married again.
I don't have any children.
I have 6 children.
And they all live in Trinity with him. Actually, 4 of them do. And I really love working with Duke students.
and I love working with Duke students.
So welcome all of you. We're going to introduce actually some information that we think is really helpful for all Duke students to know. About 5 years ago, Duke decided to embark on a research project with 3 other schools to learn about why some students are just more successful in college than others. What is it? Is it grades? Is it SAT scores? Is there high school preparation? What is it that makes some students just able to endure the college experience better than others? And this project about resiliency, it was called You at Duke. And we learned some pretty interesting things, and we're going to share the data with you this morning because we want you to learn from this so that you too can benefit and have the very best and most meaningful Duke experience that you can have. So there are 4 things that we're going to go over here. But before we start, I think it's important for us to just realize, what do human beings want? I guess everybody wants to be licked by a dog in the face. But we all want to belong, and we've talked a lot about belonging during orientation. We've talked about being part of this larger community. And frankly, we want to be loved, and sometimes the love of a dog is about the best we're going to do. But our question to you this morning is, what do you want from your Duke experience? What do you want to see have happen over these next 4 or 5 years that you're here? And how does this notion of resilience fit into what you want to have happen? So again, 5-year research project, and these are the 4 things that the research determined makes a Duke student the most resilient. And we're going to talk about these 4 things over the next few minutes and ask you to think about whether these resonate with you, and over your time at Duke, whether they will resonate with you. The first one, self-compassion. The students at Duke over the last 5 years who have been the most successful and have done the best have been able to exhibit and feel this thing we call self-compassion. When you screw up, when you don't do well on a test, when maybe a relationship goes a little sour, what do you do and how do you react to yourself? Do you show yourself compassion? Do you treat yourself the way that you would treat a friend going through a similar situation? Students who are able to not beat up on themselves and really just say, I'm okay, I like myself. This is not a defining moment for me just because I hit a little speed bump. Those folks are the ones who have been able to show the resiliency and really embrace the Duke experience with great success and with great meaning. So self-compassion, react with loving kindness towards yourself. The second part of the research showed that students who are able to demonstrate self-control, and this is a hard one to define, but I'm going to do my best. Self-control, self-management, self-regulation. It's not time management. We keep talking about, oh, you need to know how to manage your time. But what you really need to be able to figure out is how to avoid all the distractions and temptations that life has to present to us. And that happens when you're in college and it happens after college. But making really good choices, making really good decisions. How many of you have heard or seen information about the marshmallow test? Remember the marshmallow test with like 4-year-old children where they put them in a room and they said, here's a marshmallow. And if you don't eat it, we're going to come back in a little while and we're going to give you a second one. They have followed those children longitudinally, and they've learned that those children that were able to wait for the second marshmallow actually demonstrated more resiliency and more success in life. So that's an example of self-control, self-regulation. For you, it might be, when you have that opportunity to maybe go out, to go to a party, to socialize, and you know that if you just spend another hour working on a project or a paper, you're going to finish it, then those students who are able to finish their work and then go out and do what they want to do and have fun. And we don't want you to study all the time. We want you to have fun. We want you to socialize, because we're going to talk a little bit more about the 4th component of resiliency. But knowing how to time it and having that regulatory self-control is really, really, really important to be able to be successful while you're here at Duke. Dr. Blackshear is going to talk about the next
I have one little piece to add to that.
Please.
If you're like me and hate marshmallows, you will be successful.
They've actually shown that research was not well done, and and they did determine that the marshmallow was a key component, that a lot of the kids didn't like marshmallows. So in any event, we digress. Engagement. We want you to get engaged.
Listen, Kiki might love you, but we're not talking about that type of engagement. What we're talking about is developing a gusto for your school and your work. And we'd like for you to think about when you begin classes next week and you move throughout the semester, get connected with your faculty members. Get connected with other adults on campus. A lot of students will sometimes be a little shy about connecting with faculty or feel like they don't want to impose on a faculty member. But here's the secret. Faculty members love to talk about themselves. And you give them the opportunity to do that when you seek engagement with them, and being connected to faculty members, advisors, and other staff around the university will also provide you with great information about opportunities and access to many other things going on campus. So do not hesitate to engage, and also, as you're developing your thoughts about what you want to study and what you want to do, and you're talking to these faculty members, you're going to hear about all of these different trajectories that they took to get to where they are. And one thing that we really hope that you come to understand is that selection of a major is not as critical as finding something that you're passionate about, that you're going to do really good in, so that you can demonstrate your beauty, your brilliance, your intelligence, because that passion that you develop will definitely carry you on into whatever career you might find yourself doing later on. As a matter of fact, what did you set out to do?
I knew I was going to be a doctor. How about you?
I wanted to be Prince's drummer. I wanted to wear Prince clothes, Prince heels and boots, and I wanted to sing and play on stage with Prince. Yet here I am. So, and all the better for it. So getting engaged with your academics, and really, and we want to say not so much getting engaged, like, will you marry me, Kiki? But we're talking much more about being engaged and being active in your academic process.
So we know students who engage in research projects.
Yes.
Those are also the students who end up being the most resilient when something goes a little wrong, and they can bounce back a lot quicker than other students.
And that's being engaged with your faculty and with grad students and with other students in the academic arena.
And then finally.
And next is relationships, having supportive connections. Now, relationships are really interesting, especially for those of us that live on campus, because as soon as y'all get here, everybody's in love with each other and happy. And y'all had shooters night last night, didn't you? Oh, y'all didn't think we knew about that? Yeah, knew about shooters night.
What shooters?
Oh, you don't know what y'all, huh? Yeah. Anywho, developing friendships. Some of your lifelong friendships may begin right here at Duke University, and they may begin even in your first year. But folks who develop friendships and get connected, and coupled with engagement, find themselves feeling like they belong here much more than folks who find themselves more isolated. So what's going to be critical is that when you develop your relationships, you develop it with each other, you develop a fuller relationship with yourself, and critically develop a relationship with Duke, and that's with the culture and with the people. And please leave your stamp on us, because I always say Duke is like a big, beautiful choir, and your relationship with the university, meaning with each other, with us, will add another voice that will resonate long after you've gone away from these halls.
So you've got this. Self-compassion, self-control, engagement, and relationships. And when you find yourself stumbling a bit while you're here at Duke, and you're going to hear a little bit more about that this morning, I hope you will take a moment and just think about these 4 elements, these 4 parts of resiliency. This is all evidence-based research. We followed hundreds of Duke students over 5 years, and we were able to learn that this is really what mattered to them and made their Duke experience what it was able to be. We hope that for all of you, you've got this. Thank you.
You got it.
I finally wanna be alive. I finally wanna be
Dr. Blackshear talked about a lot, and I could say I'm pretty confused about a couple of things.
Well, which part?
Self-compassion mostly.
I can help you with that, Angelo. So it's really important to not be too hard on yourself and to practice self-compassion, especially here at Duke. And something that really helps me is to remember the fact that comparison is the thief of joy.
I know we're at Duke, but I can't be the only one that's struggling with this.
You're right. I'm having a really hard time managing my self-control.
Yeah, well, when I first came to Duke, I was overwhelmed with all the opportunities available, and I lost a lot of sleep talking to friends, going to classes, and trying to, schedule everything in. So just because you can do everything doesn't really mean you should. So when you're scheduling time for classes, friends, things like that, make sure to always schedule time for yourself first.
I don't really place all too much emphasis on my relationships on campus either.
Well, I don't know where I'd be without my relationships. I still call my friends when I get lost on this big campus, and I'm a junior. So don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
Yeah, Ua, and relationships can take a bunch of different forms. For example, Big Mike, the bus driver, he has saved the day for me on multiple... Give it up for Big Mike, he's a real MVP. He has saved the day for me on multiple occasions. You should never feel like you're alone on this campus because there's always someone out there for you.
And with so many opportunities at Duke, how do you manage your time for academics?
So when I first got to Duke, I was desperate to start working in a lab, but it ended up not being a great experience because I didn't really have the time to make it work. This past summer, I participated in a research program at Duke, and I was able to contribute to some really good science. So while you should definitely take advantage of these great opportunities, you don't have to rush into them.
I think this all shows how important it is to appreciate yourself and to appreciate others. And it may take some time to incorporate all four elements, and there may be some speed bumps along the way, sometimes alcohol or decisions involving sex. Luckily, we have David from Do Well and Sheila from the Women's Center to help us.
Everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Back a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines, serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like I'm Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city.
Well, you came to Duke for an education. I think you just got one. All right, welcome everybody. Whether you're here in Reynolds Auditorium or Griffith Auditorium, welcome. My name is David Mallon. I'm an assistant director in Do Well. And every year we're always asked to come and talk to all first-year students to give you a few tips and suggestions about how you can keep yourself completely safe. Well, one thing that we know for sure is that there is no silver bullet. There is nothing that we can tell you that will keep you 100% safe and successful. So what we do instead is to offer a few strategies, a few messages that we've seen work really, really well for other students in the past. And the hope is that if you take a few of those and you apply them over the next few years, you're going to increase your risk, or decrease your risk, and increase the chances of you being safe and successful. All right? So what are the underpinnings of these messages? Well, to start, they have absolutely nothing to do with knowledge or book smarts. They have everything to do with awareness. Awareness of yourself, awareness of others, awareness of your environment, and awareness of how all of those elements all come together. All right, so let's explore some of this. So far, you've heard a lot of messages about maintaining your well-being, maintaining balance, right? And to put a pause on this, can we show a little bit of love for the True Blue cast? They're doing a great job. It's not easy to put themselves out here. They're doing a great job, all right? But there's a lot of things that you're going to want to try to get involved in, whether in the first couple of weeks or month or semester. To illustrate this, I'm going to use all of you. So if you have your phones handy, if you can pull some of those out, and then on those phones, if you can bring up the Flashlight app. Now, if you don't know how to do this, this is a great chance to meet your buddy. Oh, I feel like Bruce up here. This is great. I love this. All right? Pull up that Flashlight app. All right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a series of statements. And what I'd like your help with is that if I read a statement and you feel that it resonates with you and you agree with it, I'd like you to raise that flashlight nice and high. If it's something that you don't agree with or it doesn't resonate with you, feel free to keep the flashlight down. Okay, got it? All right, let's test this. First, I'd like you to raise your flashlight if you feel that I am a good dancer. Clearly my instructions weren't good. Okay. Great, okay. Raise your flashlight if you are a proud member of the class of 2022. Nice. All right, go and lower them. Raise your flashlight if you are planning on becoming a Cameron crazy. All right, good. Raise your flashlight if you are planning on going to a bonfire or two. All right. Raise your flashlight if you are planning on joining a club or an organization. Nice. Engagement. I think we talked about the right type of engagement. I think we talked about that. All right. Raise your flashlight if you're planning on studying abroad at some point. Great. Big world. Definitely explore it. Raise your flashlight if you're planning on exercising regularly. All right. Why are we laughing? All right. Raise your flashlight if you're planning on going to class. Raise your flashlight if you're planning on skipping a class. In the booth, do we still have that live feed going out to the faculty across campus? Yeah? Okay. All right. Raise your flashlight if you're planning on going to a party. All right, it's fair. Raise your light if you're planning on drinking an alcoholic beverage at that party. You will note that not all the lights were up. I thought everybody drank in college. It's not. All right, raise your flashlight if you are hoping to make Dean's List. All right. All right, and finally, raise your hand if you're looking forward to making, hopefully, some lifelong friends from your time here at Duke. Nice. Excellent. Great. Thank you very much. I'm going to give myself, I'm going to do a little selfie here. I'm an old man. Oh, let's change that. Let's see. Give me a good selfie. There we go. Nice. Nice. Oh, and that, seeing I'm number one with that finger. I appreciate it. Bless your heart. All right. Anyway, so all these things that you want to do. So the question that I have for you is, how do you possibly do all of that while at the same time maintain your wellness? And if I were to ask you, are you well, how are you defining that? Are you saying, well, I'm not sick, therefore I'm well? Wellness is a lot more than that. Are you intellectually well? Are you physically well? Are you socially, emotionally, environmentally, spiritually? All of the dimensions that make you, you, are you well? There's a term that you might hear thrown around a lot at Duke. It's the whole work hard, play hard. Well, at Duke, we take a little different stance to that. It's work smart, play smart. When you have all of these things that you want to try to do, what is the first thing that students are going to sacrifice? Sleep. And sleep is critical to what you're going to try to do here at Duke. It's the foundation of everything. When you're not sleeping, your immune system is sacrificed. If your immune system goes down, you get sick. When you get sick, you miss class. When you miss class, you get stressed. And depending on the coping mechanisms that you have to deal with that stress, that is going to define how successful you are during your time here. All right? The students that have those coping mechanisms in place are the ones that are the most successful. The other part about sleep is that's the time when you're taking all of those short-term memories from earlier in the day and it's converting them to long-term memories. So all of that work that you're doing, all that time that you're spending trying to absorb that material, if you're not sleeping, you're not retaining it. You're not working smart. All right? So I encourage you to stay in tune with all of these things, whether it's your wellness, making sure you're prioritizing yourself, and now what others are expecting of you, because those that do it are going to thrive, especially in this first semester. All right? To follow up on that, thinking of the playing smart piece of this, we've already heard that students are planning on going out. Some of you are going to be having an alcoholic beverage. Many of you may not. And what we find is about 20 to 23% of students annually don't drink. So if that's what your approach is to alcohol, own it. We applaud you for that. You're not alone. You're not the only person on campus who's not going to drink. If you are going to choose to drink, know that the vast majority of students on campus do so in a low-risk manner. And by that means they are employing low-risk strategies. They're drinking water before and during a night of drinking. They're eating before they go out and during. They're pacing themselves. They're going out with a drink limit. They're going out in groups. They have a plan. They stick to that plan as much as possible. All right? We have seen a number of metrics that are telling us that Duke students are going out in a safe manner. There are students who are going to take it to a little bit of an extreme. That happens from time to time. But those students are in the minority. The majority are students who do not drink or do so in a low-risk manner. All right? Following up on that, an easy tripwire is thinking that you know how much you're drinking, but you're actually losing count. All right? Now, to illustrate this, where's Noah? Noah, are you out here? Raise your hand. Noah, come on up here, buddy. Come on up. 500 students in a room, I'm guaranteed to always have a Noah. Either that or Michael. Come on up, Noah. How you doing? All right, Noah, how you doing? So Noah, where's home?
London.
London. Welcome. All right. All right, so Noah, I hear that you like to party. Well, and we have evidence. So prior to you coming up, I actually pulled your data from Alcohol EDU, and we're going to actually put that up. No, I'm not going to do that. But what we're going to do, don't panic. Yeah. There's not real alcohol in here. All right, cool. All right. So I mixed this myself. You'll love it. It's 2 parts H, 1 part O.
That is 2.
All right. Let's be honest. You all are Duke students. That was funny. All right, let's just keep it 100%, okay? All right. So, just going to put a little bit in here just so it's easier to see. So now, Noah, what I'd like you to do is, so for the students that are going out, sometimes they'll pour themselves some alcohol. It's like Listerine, but it's not. They're going to pour themselves a mixed drink. They may pour some alcohol into a cup and then some ice or some water or anything like that. what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take the bottle and I'd like you to pour the amount of fluid that represents how much alcohol a typical student is going to pour into their mixed drink.
All right.
All right? So the amount of fluid that represents the alcohol part.
All right.
All right? I'm going to do that. Right there?
It's quite strong.
It's quite strong.
Yeah.
About 80 proof or so? How many of you agree with that?
No.
It's less, right? No, you don't have to do it again. That's okay. So the common thought might be, all right, this is my one cup. This is my one drink. So if you're drinking this, let's see about how much that actually equates to. All right, so do me a favor. I want to start filling up the shot glasses for me. Each one of these is representing one standard drink. Okay. So as you can see, I'm relieved because sometimes I've had people pour 7 or 8 drinks, so I'm very relieved. So as you can see, if somebody is going out or if they're pre-gaming with a mixed drink or they get to a party and they're thinking this is my one drink and they drink it quickly, or if they come into that event and they're trying to catch up, it's not one drink that they're having 2 or 3 or more at a time. And then what happens if they have a second solo cup or a third? So those extra drinks tend to slide under the radar, all right? So making sure that you're aware of what one standard drink is. If it's 80 proof, it's about 1.5 ounce size shot. If it's 100 proof, a little more potent, so you want to cut down, have it be about 1 ounce, all right? So knowing how much you're drinking is going to be a key for making sure that you're staying safe throughout the night. Noah, good man. Thank you very much. I have. There you go. All right. So the trick here is there are good things and not so good things about alcohol. Typically, all the good things, if you're going to go out, if you're going to drink, what are the good things that come from a night of drinking? This is the interactive piece of this. Make friends. Dance. Hopefully I'm not going to see any of my moves being replicated across campus. Having fun. All of those things tend to happen when students are at a nice buzz level, around 05 to 09, somewhere in that range right there. Once you start getting higher blood alcohol levels, that's when people start to go downhill. That's when they start getting nauseous, they brown or black out, they need to get assessed, they might get transported. All of those not so good things are happening on the higher BACs. So if you are curious about where that peak level is for you that you can ride throughout the night and have the night end successfully, you can come and talk to any of us in Do Well, and we can work that out for you. It's all a math equation. It's very simple. All right? All right. Last message that I'll leave with you. So Duke students genuinely care about each other. All right? They are always looking after each other whenever they're in rough shape. And I'm not just talking about alcohol. We're talking about mental health. If somebody's feeling withdrawn, if somebody's struggling emotionally in their classes or anything like that, they reach out. They help connect them with resources. Right? If you are walking back to your residence hall and you see Noah laying in the grass, don't just say, hey, I'll see you on Monday, and just keep on going. Okay? That's not what we do. Okay? We encourage all of our students to be active bystanders, to be aware of themselves, to be aware of all the things that are happening at the event that they are at. And if they see something that's not looking on the up and up, they say something. They step in. We have an amnesty policy at Duke that protects you and it protects the person who needs help. You are not going to get into trouble if you need to call for help for that individual. We want your priorities in the right spot. We also want your philosophy towards people who do have negative consequences. They have a rough night. We want that to be well placed as well. Okay? That doesn't mean when you hear of somebody who thought they were doing okay and they were trying to keep up with everybody and they end up getting transported for the response to be laughter. Okay? Our expectation is that we're empathetic, we support those individuals, we help them through it, help them learn from it. Okay? That is the expectation that we have of you. That is the expectation that we have of you as a citizen of Duke University. All right? And with all of that, hopefully you take a few of those pieces and you're going to be successful during your time here. Sound good? All right. With that, I thank you for my time. I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful colleague of mine from the Women's Center, the incomparable Miss Sheila Broderick. Sheila.
Come on. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex for now. To the people at home or in the crowd, it keeps coming up anyhow. Don't be coy, avoid, or make void the topic, cause that ain't gonna stop it. Now please talk about sex on the radio and video shows. Many will know anything goes. Let's tell it like it is and how it could be, how it was and of course how it should be. Those who think it's dirty have a choice. Pick up the needle, press pause, or turn
Round of
the
applause
radio
for Angelo. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, there you are. Awesome. Lovely. Beautiful. So glad that you all are back. It's so boring over the summer. Can you folks in the back hear me? I can't hear you. Awesome. Thank you. So we're going to be having a little chat about sex today. Is that okay? Is that all right? I need to say a couple things, though. Despite what it looks like, I'm actually a very shy person, and this is excruciating for me every year, but I do it because I love you. And so to cope with my shyness, I'm going to say some funny things. At least I think they're funny. And by that, I don't mean any disrespect for anybody's sexual choices here, okay? So that's the first ground rule. The second ground rule is that I am going to say some words like penis and vagina. Is that okay? Are we okay? Can we all just kind of handle it? Can we just breathe and manage our discomfort with those kinds of words? We're good? Everybody okay? All right, awesome. And the third thing is, I want to be clear, is that I don't have any agenda or any opinion about anybody else's sexual decisions but my own. And you all will be really, really glad to know that we won't be discussing those today. All right? So, here we go. This is Sheila's 4-point sex talks. This is really important information. You might want to write it down. It's groundbreaking information about sex. So here we go. Sexual intimacy covers a wide landscape. It is everything from holding hands to vaginal, anal, oral penetration. Okay? Wide landscape. So here's what's normal about sex. You can do it with a person of the same gender, someone who identifies differently, someone who is gender nonconforming, straight, gay, bi, queer, pan, and you can do it with yourself. Okay? That's what's normal about sex. I think I've covered all the possibilities. Have I missed anything? In my experience, those are the possibilities. Okay. Enough of point one. Sexual intimacy covers a wide landscape. Okay. Point number two, and this is the science part of it. All right? There are 3 primary sexual organs: mouths, ears, and eyes. Right? Mouths for talking. I don't know what you all thought I was going to say. And ears and eyes for listening and observing what's going on with the other person. And we should all be using these 3 primary sexual organs when we're engaging in sexual intimacy. And it's our community's expectations that every one of us in this room will seek consent, clear, unambiguous consent from a potential sexual partner. So I'm going to offer you some suggested language for having said conversation because sometimes it's awkward, okay? You have to remember, I'm your parents' age, so you have to like put it in your own language, but something like this. I might say to a person, I like you and I'm totally interested in hooking up. And the other person might say, wow, Sheila, that's an intriguing thought. When you say you're interested in hooking up, do you mean intercourse or were you thinking about something else? And then I might say, actually, I've never had vaginal or anal intercourse before. So for me now, I don't feel particularly ready for that, but I would totally love to take our shirts off and make out and see how that feels. And the other person might say, cool, right, thank you, thank you. The other person might say, cool, when and where, right? Which leads me to point number 3 of my 4-point sex talk. It is normal and healthy to choose not to engage in sexual activity. In fact, it doesn't look like anybody's doing it right now. Totally fine choice. Or to engage in some sexual activity, but not others, as well as to be quite sexually active. All of those things are totally normal and totally fine. But you know what's not cool or acceptable or normal is when people use their power or look for a person incapacitated or unable to assert themselves in order to procure a sexual crime. It's really quite simple. A 3-year-old can understand that. In fact, here's my friend James. Can you all see him? You see him he's wearing a giraffe on his head? James is about 4 now, but this picture was taken when he was about 2. And his mother told me the story of James in preschool. And one day there was a new student and she walks in the room and James has little hearts coming out of his head. He's completely in love with this little girl. And he really, really wants to hold her hand. So what does he do? And keep in mind, this is a little person who's still trying to figure out where to put his poo and his pee, right? He thinks a fat man's going to come down his chimney on the 24th of December and leave him presents. So what do you think James does when he meets this little girl and he really wants to hold her hand? What does he do? Boom, he asked. In fact, what he did was he asked the teacher if he could hold her hand, and the teacher very rightly said, you know, I can't give you permission for that, let's go ask her. So the teacher helped him ask her, okay? What do you think she said? Are you kidding me? He's wearing a giraffe on his head. She said, yes. Nobody says no to a giraffe on your head. I mean, that's adorable. That is so charming. So they hold hands and they go out and play on the playground. This is a child, this little person, who's still trying to figure out where to put their poo and their pee. It's not complicated. If James can do it, we can do it. All right, snaps. However, there are going to be some people here who apparently don't know what to do with their pee and their poo, and they might make the grave mistake of, you know, putting their hands on your body when they haven't asked for consent, or maybe some other body part of theirs on your body. And if you've not given consent for that, or if someone in a romantic relationship is hurting you or threatening you, or won't leave you alone when you've told them to, that's a violation of university policy, and more importantly, it's a violation of you as a person. That person's treating you wrong. It's not complicated. And this person can and frankly should be held accountable for that. And likewise, if the person that you are really grooving on seems unclear, unsure, or impaired, then keep your hands and your other body part off them till you're clear. I mean, seriously, do I need to say that? I don't think so. Sometimes it can be hard, I understand, to know when you're in a situation if someone's kind of creeping on you or touching you and you don't want them to. It can be hard to know what to say or do. So I'm going to give you some suggestions. Feel free to develop your own. You can say, "Get off me." You can say, "Get your fucking hands off me." Right? You can say, "I'm not giving you permission to do this." You can say, "Sheila said we should talk about it first." I'm a total buzzkill. You can say, "Stop." Or you can lie and say, "Oh, there's my dad." Unless you grew up in my children's household, in which it would be, "There's my mom." And while I hope that this doesn't happen to any of you, please come see me if it does. I can help you think through it, and our conversations are confidential. Okay, so where were we? Oh yes, back to my favorite topic, sex. And now for point number 4, my final point. We're getting close. Most of us sitting in this room and in the other room are good people. Indeed, we are not sex offenders. But in a group this size, there will be people who believe that it's totally fine to have sex with someone when that person is saying, "You know, I don't think I really want to do this," or when that other person is so incapacitated by alcohol or something else that they're unable to give consent. And I'm serious about that. It's sort of jarring to hear, I know. It's so important to me. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to cuss, so just, it's okay. We're okay. We're friends now, right? There are people that you will meet who actually believe the way to have sex is to find a drunk person and fuck them. Ooh, it got quiet. Or to do some sort of physical, sexual thing to them, and then later said, "Well, I didn't know you didn't want to have sex." What do we think about that? Remember James? Remember the delaying for the second marshmallow? Bullshit. That's what we think about it. That's bullshit. Remember, 3 primary sexual organs: mouth, ears, and eyes. You can call it oral sex. Being able and willing to talk to your partner, potential partner, about sexual expectations before doing it will dramatically increase your pleasure, their pleasure. Take my word for it. In fact, interestingly, the less you know the person, the more you have to talk about it. Isn't that interesting? It seems counterintuitive. And this is particularly important if you don't know the person really well. Okay, you'll all be glad to know that I'm almost done. All sex should be sex that everybody involved wants. I know most of us would never have sex with someone that said no, but I'm asking you for something a little more. And this is important, so I want to make sure that everybody is listening, okay? If you're interested in engaging in some sexual intimacy with another person, talk with them about your sexual experience, your sexual desire. Ask them about theirs. The absence of a no does not equal consent. Be like James. Check in with each other during the sex. That's really fun. When you're fooling around, make sure that the other person's still present. You still here? How's this going for you? You want me to do something different? It sounds weird, but it's really hot. Really. No pressure, right? No coercion. Thank you, my darlings. Hello.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, do you know I got it? All I'm asking is
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig ah.
If you want my future, forget my
Thank you, David and Sheila, for that great presentation. Can you please join us in giving them another round of applause? Sometimes we get so caught up in the moment that we forget about the consequences and how they may impact ourselves and others.
Coming into college, we have a lot of newfound freedom, and part of that is managing your social responsibility and transitioning into serious adulthood.
Yeah, like when I first came to Duke, alcohol was basically a foreign concept to me. I had never drunk before, and I didn't know how much a shot was or what vodka tasted like. But through different parties and social gatherings, I realized that consuming alcohol is a choice. And it comes with risks like blacking out or alcohol poisoning. It's important to know that if you make that choice, you surround yourself with people you trust, and you know what's going in your body and how your body reacts to it.
Yeah, and even if you think you know how your body works, or if you've had experience with alcohol in the past, it's still important to be cautious. These things can still happen to you. Although we're trying to have fun at parties and around campus, we need to make sure that everybody around us is safe. So if you see anybody that doesn't look too well, don't be afraid to call EMS. You might save somebody's life.
So, Corey, tell me, what was it like working in the Women's Center?
Honestly, it was super intense. I got to learn the scope of the issue that sexual assault was, and because so many people were just coming in and out of the Women's Center for counseling. That being said, I was filled with relief because I knew they were going in to see people like Sheila, right? I knew they had the best people behind those doors. And so if you do experience something like sexual assault, the Women's Center, CAPS are great resources for you.
Exactly, and just remember that you never know who's hurting, so keep an eye out.
Even though people go through these speed bumps, it feels like they just cruise right through them.
I mean, it feels like everyone at Duke is like a superhero. They're just cruising through life. Meanwhile, I can't even figure out the bus schedule.
Wait a second, guys. Where's Peace?
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 Peace? Where's she at?
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. The system broken, the school's closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose, everybody we rollin'. Everybody we rollin'.
I just pulled another all-nighter. No big deal. Who needs sleep? Weaklings.
I'm flawless, and this body is effortless. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and I wake up like this every morning.
You know, some people have trouble picking a major, but not me. I've been pre-law since before I was born. Undecided? Please, get your life together.
Yo, bro, hold on. Of course I'm going to the Darty. Hold on. My social calendar, totally booked. I got so many friends. There's always a different party to go to and more people to meet.
Duke is hard. Duke is easy. I don't even study, and that's perfect because then I can have time for my hiking club, my a cappella group, and being president of my sorority.
Money, not an issue. When I go out, I go all out. New watch, new clothes, and I went to Egypt this summer. Visa or MasterCard?
I have a 14-page paper, 2 exams, 4 grad school applications, and a lab report all due in the next 2 days. Whatever, I got this. Piece of cake.
Wow. Look at all these Duke superheroes.
Dude, you thought that was all real?
I mean, yes, at first I was like, wow, all Duke students are amazing. I felt screwed.
Well, now you know that was all just a front, caused by this super weird, hyper-stress competition thing that sometimes happens here. It's not real. Don't believe it. They're people just like us. In fact, watch this. You haven't slept in 3 days. Tell us how you really feel.
exhausted. I feel like a zombie. I'm just trying to keep up with everything, but I just can't.
I mean, you could go to Duo. I can figure it all out.
That's true. Appreciate you.
Let's see here. Who else is there? Ah. Tell us how you really feel about your body and food.
Oh my God, I am so stressed. I eat so much all the time, and sometimes I eat when I'm not even hungry, and I don't know, it's like I'm out of control or something, and it doesn't help that everyone else here seems to be flawless.
You know, Student Health has some awesome nutritionists. You should swing by if you want.
Huh. Maybe I will.
See, fam, I told you they weren't all what they seemed. You give it a go.
Me?
Knock yourself out.
So, what's really going on with you?
Actually, the only reason I'm pre-law is because my parents expect me to go to law school, but I don't want to do that. I really want to be a teacher.
You know, it's really important to love what you're studying. It makes for a better Duke experience. You should definitely check out the Academic Advising Center for some great options.
Thanks.
Meghana, you give it a go.
So, how's that social calendar really working out for you?
Ugh, I don't know. I keep going to all these parties just as everyone else is going, but I haven't really gotten to know anyone. Like, back in high school, I had all of these really close friends, and now here at Duke, I haven't really found a group of people that I really click with. And if I'm being completely honest, I really miss being home.
Hey, I totally get it. Let's grab coffee sometime. I can introduce you to some great people.
Excuse me, over here.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm freaking out too.
Well, let it out.
This is ridiculous. I'm stressed out all the time. I feel like it's just school, school, and more school, and activities, and a social life, and my parents are just breathing down my neck. That felt good.
I know, right? Feels good to show your true blue.
Your turn. Drop the act. What's really going on?
I'm not rich, but sometimes... Sometimes it seems like everyone here is loaded. I want to keep up, but I just can't afford to. Not without going into major credit card debt. But I don't want to miss out.
I get that. FOMO is real. But don't forget there's a lot of stuff on campus that's not going to bankrupt you, like free water films or Devils After Dark or other opportunities.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks. Okay, tell us what's really going on.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Sis, it's time for you to let it go.
I'm good. Totally fine.
Guys, a little help.
Really, fam, you need to let it go. And if you don't, I'm gonna sing the song from the movie.
No, anything but
I'm
that.
gonna do it.
No.
Ready? Let it go!
Stop. I don't know how people do it here. Seems like they don't even lift a finger and they still ace school. So that's what I try to do. But it's impossible. For the first time in my life, I'm doubting myself. I don't think I can cut it.
That's it, Visma. And remember, there are a bunch of resources on campus to help you out, like CAPS. And there's no shame in going. Everyone needs support sometimes. Wait a second. Is that Peace?
That's not your line.
Forget the line. But for real though, I think that's Peace.
I think so too. Peace, is that you?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all, that's all you have to say?
Chill. We're wondering where you went after the first scene. We were worried about you.
Yeah, is everything okay?
I mean, I guess.
What's going on? You can talk to us.
Are we really doing this right now? We have a show to finish.
Yes, right now. This is important.
I don't know, y'all. I just have this rising fear, like this pressure. Like the semester hasn't even started yet and I already have so many commitments. And I told myself that this year I would focus more on my schoolwork and make more time out for myself, but it's really hard.
So, you just walk out and leave us hanging? Hey, yo, what's your problem? My problem is people act like they're the only ones here with issues. We're all stressed out, we're all busy, but we all still came here except for her.
And that tea is gone.
No, Rick's right. I shouldn't have left like that, and I apologize.
There, she apologized. Happy now?
Oh, so you're perfect, huh? You're one of those Duke superheroes in real life? What, have you never missed class? Never been the slack person in a group project? Never turned in a late assignment or flunked a test?
No, I don't. But I still feel like a failure. I could have a 4.0 GPA, perfect attendance, dean's list, all these extracurriculars, and a paid internship, and I still wouldn't be enough.
That was me last year.
What did you do?
I had to figure out what I really wanted and how that aligned with my values. The people around me held me accountable.
Oh, honey, and you were okay with them checking you like that?
Yeah, because I know they were doing it because they cared.
Okay.
Yeah, just like y'all checked me. I shouldn't have walked out today, and I'm sorry that I let y'all down.
All right, it's all good. I shouldn't have come at you like that. We all have issues that we're dealing with. I'm just glad that you're okay. We all learned something today.
Oh, I think it's time to close this out.
Want to go out tonight? Tell me about what worked for you.
See? No one's got it together all the time. No one.
The moment I realized it was okay not to be okay was when I knew what true blue really meant. I can be myself.
I can ask for help.
I can have fun without going overboard by practicing self-control.
If I could tell you one thing, it would be to make the choices that are right for you.
I tell you that it's okay to check your friends. It might be hard, but I bet they'll thank you for it.
And definitely don't feel like you have to do it alone. There are tons of resources here at Duke to support you. Don't wait until it's too late.
And know that there's not one Duke story.
Don't buy into any preconceived notions of the Duke image.
You don't have to follow the crowd.
You define you. Choose the path that's right for yourself.
Make your own individual choices.
Study something you absolutely love.
And show yourself some compassion.
And seek out friends who like you, who respect you for who you are, and support you.
We all bleed blue.
What's your true blue? Trap, money, got me in my feet. Gotta be better with it. Yeah. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. 'Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always, KB. Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. 'Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. I've been going off and they don't know when. He deserved it. I thought you would've won from the jump. Trap money, Benny. I buy you champagne, but you love some Henny. From the block like you Jenny. I know you special, girl. 'Cause I know you
Hello, my name is Erin and I am a sophomore and I am majoring in public policy.
My name is Meghna. I'm a sophomore and I'm a biology sociology major.
I'm Corey. I'm majoring in poli-sci and documentary studies, and I'm a junior.
I'm Visma. I'm a sophomore, and my intended major is computer science.
Hi, I'm Peace. I'm a junior majoring in biology.
My name is Arlene. I'm a sophomore, and I am a political science English major.
Hey y'all, I'm Ben. I'm a senior and I'm studying biology.
Hey guys, I'm Sharik. I'm a sophomore and I'm majoring in economics.
I'm Felix. I'm a sophomore and I'm majoring in biochemistry.
Hi, my name is Senna. I'm a sophomore and I'm undecided.
Hi, I'm Uwa. I'm a junior and I'm studying psychology.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a senior and I'm a biology major.
Hi, my name's Angelo. I'm a junior and I'm a chemistry major.
All right, my name's Sean Rick. I'm a sophomore. I'm a political science and psychology major.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a neuroscience major.
Thank you all so much for coming out. We are the True Blue Cast.
Okay, beautiful people, thank you for coming. One more quick instruction. If you identify as male, stay in this room, okay? If you identify as female, you're gonna go to Griffith Theater. It's very close. This is the only time I'll tell you to follow the crowd. And if you are gender non-conforming, the Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, CSGD, is where you're gonna wanna go. All right, thank you.